Anyways, welcome back to the next part, and let's see here. Like I said, I'm just doing it back to back to back to back. If you see a screen like this at the beginning of the part, then I'm picked up right where I left off. Yada yada yada. You get it. Let's continue.
I was paid a healthy bounty for Ringo and Curly Bill, and realized there was real money to be made. That's why I went after Henry Plummer.
I don't know much about him.
Now, wasn't he the sheriff who augmented his income by shaking down miners and robbing gold shipments?
That's the one.
Oh yeah, I remember him. He ran that gang of thieving outlaws called the Innocents.
So it's true that you went toe-to-toe with him?
Indeed I did, son. Indeed I did.
The Magnificent One, which it's actually the movie is the Magnificent Seven, I think. It's the Magnificent Another Number. That's the Western movie. I can't remember which one it is though. I think it's 7, maybe 9 or 8. Not for sure. Fuck it. Google it yourselves.
I knew I needed resources if I was going to track down Roscoe Bob Bryant. And hunting Plummer looked like a good way to get rich quick. As the local vigilantes exposed him as the leader of the bandits, and put a generous price on his head. Plummer rallied his gang to plunder one last gold mine before making their escape. And that's where I thought I'd find him. As my late father pointed out to me more than once, God made men, but Samuel Colt made them equal.
That's my favorite quote this entire game.
I knew that dynamite wasn't mine, so I decided the polite thing would be to return it. It was the biggest gold rush since Sutter's Mill in '48. Unfortunately, prospectors weren't the only ones drawn to those riches. There were thieves and killers, robbing travelers and hijacking gold shipments. Like those that ran with Plummer. Some were just regular folks I knew from town, drawn by greed and easy pickings. Charlie Crow, the blacksmith.
Yoink. Yoink.
James, who worked in the stable. Sam and Jeremiah Barber, the butcher's son. Plummer had a lot of men on his payroll. A hell of a lot. That son of a bitch pretended to protect the public with one hand while stealing them blind with the other.
Where you at?
Of course, the rest were veterans of the Civil War. Stone-cold killers trained on the bloody fields of Shiloh and Antietam. I thought I was some kind of hero. I finally made it past and headed on to meet my destiny. But first, I had something I needed to figure out. I had a few ideas on how to get into that mine, but once I made my decision, I knew there was no turning back. So my first thought was to enter the nearest mine portal. I saw an entrance. Made sense.
Yeah.
It was the quickest way in, but that also made it more dangerous, as there would undoubtedly be enemy pickets posted along the way.
Oh shit!
Besides, once you enter a mine like that, it's easy to get all turned around.
Not for me.
And that confusing maze of corridors wouldn't even be the worst of it. Some of those shafts could be as deep as hell.
Headshot. Headshot.
A single stumble or misstep can easily end in a deadly plunge to oblivion.
Headshot.
Quick reflexes often make up for a lack of common sense. Luckily, I was never one to be easily bushwhacked. I would just need to be careful not to blow myself to kingdom come.
Oh shit.
With all that gunpowder and dynamite everywhere, a body has to know what he's shooting at. One wrong bullet could have turned that mine into a dad-blasted tomb.
fuck.
I freely admit that my plan of attack was not just moronic, but clearly insane.
God, I love that.
It's a good thing that I abandoned that ridiculous plan before I even tried it. Instead, I spotted a ladder, a way into the mine from the opposite side.
See how it changes like that on you?
It was a long way around, but that approach seemed more sensible at the time. Of course, being I had a problem with heights, that scaffolding scared the bejesus out of me. Climbing down that ladder required some caution.
Yeah, this would
Because
also
even though
bother
I
me.
had a younger man's reflexes, no man can dodge a damn bullet while climbing down a rickety ladder.
Yeah, no, this
I
shit.
was determined
I would never
not to give up, however.
do. I would wait safely in there with a rifle, praying nobody came near me.
As Sheriff Plummer seemed quite the despicable character. When the vigilantes discovered what the sheriff was up to,
Come on.
people were outraged. That 10,000 they put on his head would go a long way in helping me find old Bob. And I had made it my mission to
Nice.
settle that score come hell or high water. But first, I would have to make a choice. Take the elevator or climb the ladder.
Ladder.
I wanted to use the element of surprise. Plus, I figured I could use the exercise. I was warmed up already, so what the hell?
Nice.
Plummer was a mad dog killer, and the people of Nevada City deserved better.
He's done.
Nevada City.
Oh,
Well, I
shit.
thought Plummer met his maker in Bannock, Montana.
He's down.
Right, well, he was the sheriff of both places at one time or another, but that's neither here nor there. The point was, taking him down would save a lot of lives, including my own.
Here we go, guys. Lawman. Outlaw. Scalawag. Henry Plummer. I like the term scalawag. We should bring it back. Scalawag.
They're gonna bury you. Well, in a million days, it's just getting worse and worse for you.
Henry Plummer was clearly unhinged, and I could
Come
see
on.
right away that this was gonna take some doing.
This is another one of those levels that doesn't end inside a, into a duel.
I need some help here. Come on, boys. Take this cocksucker out.
Cocksucker, that's funny. Got him. Got him. At all? I guess it is. Here's Henry Plummer
I
again.
need a dustpan to pick you up. I can shoot boom.
I didn't shoot better. Fuck. There we go. Ah, fuck. I thought it was in cover. Concentration will end automatically if there's no enemies within the viewing distance. Good to know. I thought it was in cover. Where's he at? There you are.
Gonna blow you into next week.
I already got you. Reloading.
You can shoot, but can you aim?
Yep. Where's your friend out there?
Throw you in a million pieces. I can shoot too.
Got him.
So that's how Henry Plummer died. Him and his crew were worth their weight in gold. And now, I was officially a bounty hunter.
Told you, the Ranger's the best gun, pistol-wise, at least for me. Aside from that, I'd probably use the shotgun. Shotgun's good. Anyways, let's go to the next part.